How's it guys, Jan here from Southern Survivor. So today I'm doing my first stealth hiking trip, my stealth camping trip. It's going to be a first for me. I'm excited. I'm here in the beautiful Klein Karoo in the Northern Cape, and I'm also going to do some gear reviews, some of the stuff that I previously did. I do not as yet have everything that I need, but this is a start. We're getting there. Also, this is more of a bug out bag setup. I did change things here and there for this trip, but the concept is more or less the same, and I hope you enjoy this with me. So I'm about to exit the urban area, and I thought maybe just quickly show you what I have with me, which would be a baseball cap, some sunglasses, UV protective, polarized, a nice quick lightweight walking stick. On my back is the absolute boost. I finally got it, the Canea Phalanx. This thing is freaking amazing, worth every cent. And pants, I have the ripstop, the stretch ripstop from Johnson's Workwear. These pants are so comfortable, and the fact that they're actually a stretch ripstop make them ideal for an outdoor adventure. And I have with me as boots, I have my Wolverine Hawthorne 8-inch waterproof boots. You can also see the cargo ripstop pants there. So this is basically what I'm going to wear today for this stealth camping trip. So I've exited about 1 kilometer or 2 out of town, but there's still a couple of small holdings and farmhouses in the area, so it's still too urban for me. So I'm going to exit furthermore. As you can see, there is a dam behind me, and the goal of this is going to be moving downstream away from the houses, the farms. So the path downhill was closed off by fencing from the nature reserve, so I had to backtrack, come back to the urban area, and now I have to use one of the main roads out of town down to a place where I can find a safe spot and a quiet place to set up camp for the night. So the main road going out of town is busy as hell, and I had to retake this like 20 times. It's difficult to keep a low profile with all the traffic going by, and so far it's going well. The weather out is actually not that bad. It's about 35 degrees Celsius with a little bit gust of wind and a little bit of cloudy outside, but it's not that bad. It could have been worse. So far the pack has been holding up quite well, with an average weight of about 11 kilograms, of which 2.5 of that is water. My pack is actually quite packed light, so it's comfortably, it goes, these packs are actually designed to fit around a plate carrier, but I'm not using it for that at the moment. I'm using this just as a camping and as a bug out bag. The boots, my hiking boots, so far it's held up actually quite comfortably. Now I've been walking about 5 kilometers until now, and my feet is a little bit sweating inside, but what do you expect from waterproof boots in this heat? But as far as comfortability goes, I have absolutely no complaint. I'm really happy with these boots, and the grip on the tar road, and if you go down even on the gravel road, is phenomenal as hell. As I stated in my review before, these things, the cement construction and the grip really holds up very, very nice. So there behind me is a little small hill called a koppie in Afrikaans, and I've decided I'm going to go a little off my route and go exploring and go up that hill and see if I can't find maybe a better campsite as what I initially had in mind. I made it to the small hill, but the wind is absolutely blowing my ass away, and I had a secondary decision to maybe set up camp on this hill, but I decided now I'm going back to my primary decision of going downstream and find a more wind-friendly, greener place, more concealed, for a camp spot tonight. So I made it downhill and away from the main road and came across a dirt road, which I presume is used for 4x4. And I'm moving along the stream now to find a nice green spot where I can set up camp. The problem is the weather has come up, and I'm expected to have some rain this evening, and I'm running out of daylight, so I need to go quick, set up my camp and my spot gather some firewood. So I did find a peaceful spot, but the problem was it was still a bit visible from the bridge and the main road. So I'm moving downstream to see if I can find a more secluded area. But I have three problems coming up. One, the weather's picking up, so I'm expecting rain for the evening. Two is I'm running out of daylight, as I said. So I need to get my camp up and collect firewood. Third is the water rises about 2 meters, so I need to find a place that is still nice and close to the water, but still far away, as I do not wish to be flushed away during the night. I don't know if you can see, but I actually found a nice camping spot a little bit further from where I've been. But the problem is there is charcoal on the floor, which means someone has already been here and made a fire. So it's a little bit more of a health risk, but it's a nice area, secluded away from the town and main road, with a lot of reeds around me, but still close enough right there to the river, as you can see. So I'm just going to move a little bit more downstream and see if I can find a better spot, but if not, this will be my campsite for the evening. As you can see, there are more fireplaces made in this area at the stream, which means the locals come in to go fishing and to get away from town, which for me is a bit of a health risk. But as I'm running out of daylight, I need to find a spot soon, so I'm going back to where I first saw a space initially, which is more private, away from the dirt road and from visibility of the dam and the dam wall. So I'm going back there and going to set up camp, which is for me is the safest and most secluded area, and also for tactical defense should I be provoked during the evening. As you can see, I had to cut some branches as I'll be making my sleepaway on this area here, but the surface is still full of thorns, as I'm right next to thorn bushes. So I have to clean this area, make it nice and sleepable for myself. As you can see, here where I'm about to make my bed, I made a small trench, so should it rain, as the water be coming down that side, it actually goes into the trench and away from my bedding. So that's going to be my sleeping area for the evening. So I finished my campsite using a tarp and a hiking stick setup, and let me just quickly turn the camera around to show you what I've done. So here I have one of my plastic tarps, of which I will put my sleeping bag and my pillow. I used my hiking stick as a primary lift. I could have used the trees, but I had my hiking stick, so I just use it for that now. In the morning, should I stay longer, I will just connect the tarp with ropes to the trees, and I will use my hiking stick as a fishing rod, because as you can see the river there, I've been hearing fish jump and play, and I am so intrigued to go hand fishing or hand line fishing there in the river. So yeah, I'll be putting my bug out bag, and firewood I'll be collecting so it's underneath the tarp away from the rain, and I'll probably be making my fire right about over there, just away from the tarp, depending on whether the wind will be. Otherwise I'll just make it this side where previous people have been making fire in this spot. I made a tent peg for the end of the tarp here, and while making the peg I actually cut my thumb with my knife, and which actually just shows you again how important first aid is. And it's always important to have a first aid kit with you when you're outside making camp or going hiking anywhere you are. Always a priority is first aid. So as you can see, over there's my campsite, there's my bag, which will be hidden inside the bag there. So this is just an example of what my campsite is going to look like. I had to cut some trees to make space for the tarp and the bedding, and I used that to put over there just to make for a little bit of concealment, especially at night, just for that extra bit of camo effect. So this is a view of the campsite. I'm just walking around to show you what it looks like and a bit of how it will be concealed. Now over here by the reeds you won't see the fire, but this is pretty much the setup of what it's going to look like, what I'm going to use tonight. So over here I'm probably going to make fire, so now I'm off to go collect firewood. Right here behind me was a nice fishing spot with rocks and so on it, where I thought, well, maybe just before nightfall comes and I had collected enough firewood that I can go fishing a little bit. But as you can see, the water is rising and I lost my spot. But luckily it looks like my campsite though would be high enough away from the level of the water rising, so I think I should be safe enough tonight. But they say it can rise by about 2 meters, so I have to check the levels and see that I don't lose my campsite due to flooding. So just a quick note, for stealth camping you don't make fire. because you don't want to be seen by the smoke and everything like that. But since I haven't had a holiday in a long time, and I'm doing this just for myself and to have a nice evening, a nice camp out today, I made a small fireplace there, and I collected a little bit of firewood and decided I'm still going to collect a bit more firewood. Since I can't go fishing actually now because of the water rising and the water flowing, I need to find something else to do. So just for a bit of tranquility and for a nice peace of mind for this evening, I'm going to make a little bit of fire and just enjoy myself. While I have a little bit of light left, it's about to get dark. My fireplace here, and I'm going to make my sitting spot there just to enjoy myself. And I had to cut a lot of thorns, bushes and leaves and everything down from the trees, and I decided I needed to up my security. After all, this is South Africa, and since I'm man alone, you can see all these thorn bushes right over there. So basically there's one way in, one way out, and on the side here as well, a little bit of camo, a little bit of thorn bushes, just for that little bit of extra security. So just before it gets dark, there you can see the campsite quite concealed, and my view for the evening, I don't know if the camera will actually adapt to that, but I wish you can see that beautiful sunset. It's bright and orange. I'll probably just take a photograph and edit it into the video, but I wish you can see how amazingly beautiful my evening's going to be. So this is my view of the sunset. The water has risen quite high, but not as yet where it is a danger to me, and I don't know why the camera's changing the color, but look at that beautiful sunset. So this being my collection of firewood, so I'm just going to start making a little bit of a small fire. So things didn't happen as according to plan. I actually arrived too late and I ran out of time to do everything properly and do the whole cooking setup and all of that and collect enough firewood for the whole night. But I have to tell you, if you do something like this, it's good or better to not do it alone. It's kind of lonely and I don't know what I'm going to do all night. So since it's actually Christmas Day today and I had a massive Christmas feast, I'm not really hungry that much. So I actually did put apples in my bag and a couple of energy bars. So I'm not going to do all cooking. I will actually for breakfast, when there's more light, use my stove and cook for that. But I'll just go with a couple of snacks for the night. But since I'm next to the river, the most important thing is freaking bug spray. So I'm going to use Tabard and then also use an extra thing that I made, which would be just normal body lotion with some citronella oil and Dettol, which I combined. So I'm going to double layer myself for tonight. But as far, I haven't actually been bitten. It's quite nice, and I'm next to the river and it's rainy season, so far it's been actually quite going well. But I've already gone through about a liter of water and I have about a liter left. Now I'm not going to collect as much water from the river. I will use my Sawyer Mini if I need to, but I'm going to try and use what I have in my bag. So I need to conceal myself or preserve water, to put it more correctly, for the night. But for now I'm just quickly going to rub myself with anti-insect, nice strong insect repellent, and I'm going to get that fire going. So the tarp is actually quite cozy. Lying on the plastic tarp helps for a bit of insulation, and I will put out the sleeping bag a bit later on, so I just kept it on the bag still in its compression sack just to keep it clean. But I think if it should rain tonight, I should actually be quite okay. It shouldn't be too much of a hassle. I should actually be quite comfortable. I probably will be sleeping just underneath the sleeping bag and not inside, just for security reasons should I stand up and protect myself. So for making fire here, I have Vaseline cotton balls with a cable tie to use as a hook there to take them, to pull them out of the holder. So I'm just gonna light these cotton balls and add my sticks. Now making fire in the Klein Karoo in South Africa, it is absolutely vital to stay with your fire and always keep an eye on it, since it is extremely dry here. We're having an extremely dry season. Okay, there you can see there's my fire going. I'm lying on my plastic tarp here. This is my bedding. I haven't even taken out my sleeping bag yet. It's too freaking hot and I'm actually so comfortable. I'm lying on my bag out bag so I'm okay for now. I don't know if you can actually see me. Let's put some lighting in there. If you can see that, there is the camouflage and the security that I actually made for this setup. One way in, one way out. And behind me there are rocks. I wonder if I can actually show you. There you can see behind me there's rocks, the bag, and the top's down low. So there is rocks and thorn trees, doringbome. That's actually also part of a security setup. So I'm actually quite secure in this setup, and I'm actually more comfortable than what I actually would have thought. And there's my fire. When I go to bed, I'm gonna put that out for security reasons, safety reasons, and then I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, guys. It wasn't the most comfortable night's rest, but it's okay. The fire went out at about 11:30, 10 actually, and I laid awake until midnight and saw as the coals go down. But after midnight it started getting flippin' cold, and it was actually so nice. I didn't actually open my sleeping bag, but at midnight I just got up and I opened the tarp more, and I just laid underneath the sleeping bag, as I don't want to get it dirty. I have to use it for the rest of the week here in the Karoo. But about 2 o'clock in the morning I woke up flippin' cold as hell. So I zipped it open and I just climbed underneath it, and it's been okay until now. A bit of my feet just above the boots was open and a little bit in the neck, but further than that, actually it was okay. It wasn't too bad. I didn't bring a pillow. I used my bag as a pillow, as you can see there, and for some positions it was actually not too bad. But through the night I woke up about twice when I had to go out, and when I was fixing the tarp and the sleeping bag. And they always speak about the stars in the Karoo, and yes, you had to see those stars. Absolutely amazing. And there was at one stage early this morning a wild animal, like a cat or something, next to me. But through the whole night, lying under this tarp listening, there's a fish next to these reeds, and he hasn't stopped playing. I think that thing is on a Red Bull or something. That I'm going to quickly set up, pack up camp. I'm going to make coffee first, because I'm dying for a cup of coffee, and then quickly just pack up camp. And before I head home, I'm gonna try and see if I can just quickly go fishing for just a quick while, just for fun, depending obviously on what the water level of the river would be. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So just from my view, this is what the tent tarp setup looks like. There you can see some of my security with the thorn bushes and trees, the roof, a little bit hiking stick. There's the river, sun coming up, and there's my fire. I actually didn't put the fire out, as I said. I'd left it on, and this I watch as the coals go down, getting my mind straight, thinking. And yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like from my view in my camp setup. I didn't mention that I heard something in the reeds last night, and as I just got out now, I noticed there's a lot of droppings over here, and there seems like a small hide or a pathway into the reeds. So I definitely had a neighbor last night, and the animal I saw early this morning had a big tail, so it's probably a jackal. I just had a car pass by. Actually, there was a car with a person walking in front on the road there, going down stream, going that direction, and they actually didn't spot me. So I think for me, my camouflage, yay. So my propane stove is busy cooking my water there. I'm just going to use a Jacobs 3-in-1 for the coffee. I would have made like a mac and cheese last night, but and thought I have it for breakfast, but I'm okay for now. I still have a couple of energy bars left, so if I my way home, so I'm gonna eat those. But in a normal bug out situation, I do not have a cooking setup in my bag, as I like to eat on the go and not cook as I use the space for something else. But yeah, I'm gonna have a quick coffee there. I'm gonna set up camp, break it up. So campsite's all cleaned up, leave no trace, that's always the motto. And I'm on my way home now. I organized a lift back to town so I don't have to walk all these hills, and I'm basically almost at my pickup point. But I spoke earlier about the bag and the shoes, but I never spoke about the pants, which are these ripstop stretch pants by Johnson's Workwear, and I've tested them out in this trip and they really are flipping comfortable. I slept in them, everything, walked in them, and what I love about them the most is they're quite a skinny fit. I don't like these baggy pants, but also that the ripstop is stretch, so it's quite comfortable, especially when you're climbing rocks and all those things. I would really recommend them to friends and everybody going outside using them for outdoors or whatever adventure. So I'm really impressed with them, and they have actually become my favorite pants now. And that basically wraps up for this trip. Guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Keep well.